Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of the second season of the Savage Lands. We have burrowed ourselves into the flank of the mountain at Brightness Portals. This fortress will bring war to the goblins that are dwelling in the south, but before we can think about anything like that, there is so much work to be done. We have set up a little bit of a base camp here. We have prepared the workshops. Here we are preparing the stills and the farming district. We got our stoneworkers area there. We got the woodworkers here. Well, we will have the woodworkers here as soon as we have set up the stockpiles. Let's assign a couple of digging jobs here. Not too many. We will have the metal workers quarter here. And I'm going to set this up like that. So basically mimicking the setup there, but I'm leaving a blank spot here because I don't want to bind too much workforce here. And as a last thing, and it's going to be probably the most important part, we will put up the jewelers district over here. And considering everything I know, this is going to be the thing that I want to work on first. So let's hope that our miners will get this stuff done there as quick as possible. And then we are going to carve a city core below that, but one thing at a time. Right now we're digging out this area here, which is really fine. I appreciate. Let's set up one stockpile zone for drink and one stockpile zone for prepared food. Always is a good point to start at. Okay, so we got all these, and I'm going to delete the big stockpile zone up here now, because, you know, we have brought everything which we need to get underground, and as long as there is no other stockpile zone designated, these items, they won't go bad or anything. They'll just be lying around here, chilling and waiting for their moment. So I'm going to make myself another door, because I really want that. And here we have the brewing already going on. We've struck a new deposit of tetrahedrite. That's wonderful. And here we are going to set up our gemstone area. And I'm going to put up a jeweler right up there. It is, for me, so important out of a simple reason. There will be a caravan hitting town in just a season, and cut gems are a wonderful source of income early on. So we're going to make this the most important task in the fortress for now. We haven't found too many gemstones, yes, but we did find a few of them. So we're going to utilize what we got there and make sure we have something to trade with the main fortress. So there we go. Let's dig out that. And this, well, let's see. Do we have everything? We have the farming district. We have the stoneworkers. We have the woodworkers. We have the crafts dwarves and the like. No, we have the metal workers. And we have the crafts dwarves and the jewelers. I think we have all the industries that our fortress might require under one roof. And now, well, this is a feat of paranoia here. So we are going to go all the way on over there. And this is going to be where the actual city will be built. I will have another airlock, so to say, or a opportunity to set up an airlock between the city core and the rest of the fortress. It pays off to be able to isolate parts of your fortress whenever it is necessary. And we are very close to goblin territory. Who knows what's going to plague the people of Brightness Portals before things end here. So we are going to set up a large plaza. I think I'm going to make this here the meeting spot for the people here, and just at the very moment our first immigrants arrive. Wonderful. So we're going to go for a very minimalistic design here at Brightness Portals. Brightness Portals is a war fortress. That means Most of the apartments will be easier. Why am I not drawing this like that? Nobody knows. So we're going to go for a very, very space efficient design. So we have new people here on the spot. Let's see. We got ourselves a weaponsmith. You're new here, aren't you? Yeah. That's a good start. We got a clothier. That's a new person as well. And I'm not sure. I think the woodcrafter might be, and the farmer. Yeah, I think these are the new people there on the block. Okay, let's dismantle the wagon because as you see there, they're still hanging around there. That's because the wagon is always the first meeting area for your dwarves, and we have a hauling incident here. So I bet, yeah, that's because I have disabled hauling. So we've got rotten food here. So let's get that away. We are overall quite low on food here, so this is a situation to take care of. Let's do this. We set up a farmer's workshop, a butcher, and a tanner. So we got the basics down then. There we go. Butcher and tanner. And then we should be okay for starters. Okay. Hope they're going to carry away the rotten things here as fast as possible. This always happens when you don't have enough hauling personnel assigned. Typical thing. So, because I know that these things will be necessary rather sooner than later, we're going to set up a loom and a clothier here. This is my personal favorite basic setup where we got all the necessary things that we require under one roof. The only thing we don't have is a millstone yet, but we're gonna get there as well. Okay, so let's assign a few things at the farmer's workshop. So we're going to process plants to bags. Right now this is not important, but it will be. And I don't know if the shearing and milking of animals is really something I need to put on the work order list. Doing this every time still. So process plant to bag, we always want to do that, otherwise we cannot eat stuff like quarry bushes. And plant processing, that is where we process pigtail into thread and stuff like that. So not too important things as of now, but they will grow very, 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 very important rather sooner than later. Okay, so here the kitchen catastrophe has been averted. That's a good thing. We could now technically butcher an animal if the need arises. And let's see, do I have the standing orders correctly? So everybody harvests, only farmers harvest. That's really, really important. We don't want children to do chores because they grow unhappy if they have to do so. And let's see, we're going to forbid other dead. And, well, actually, we're going to forbid all the dead. This is really annoying in some regard because I have to monitor now everything that dies in my fortress, but at the same time, it saves lives. So, you know, life-saving efforts are way more important for me right now. So, we don't have a single dwarf who's good at plant gathering. So we're going to assign the farmer. So the farmer is going to forage stuff above earth for us now. You know, yummy, yummy surface plants. With 11 workers, we are a little bit better off now, but still, it's a little bit... we are very, very limited. Putting in a door here gives us some safety, but only some. So we got to get us some real safety ASAP as well. So let's do this. I've been talking in the last episode about traps and such, and that's one thing that I want to do here. So we're going to go and set up a couple of mechanisms for us, and going upstairs, no, downstairs, here's the carpenter's workshop to be. we are going to set up some cage traps here as well. I'm not going to go for any automated task as of yet, because I don't want to overburden my dwarves at the very moment. Oh, look at those juicy, juicy gemstones. Wonderful. So to store them, we are going to make bins. It's going to eat up so much wood in the fortress, but whatever. It is okay. It is totally okay. Wood is not too much of a terribly scarce material right now, so I'm okay with using it for various tasks. Goodo. So bins are being produced. That's a good thing. And let's see. We don't have mugs in production as of yet. That's also very, very important. So that one goes to the crafts dwarves. Mug. The good old rock mug. You know, this drives your dwarves insane if they have nothing to drink out of. And since andesite and gabbro seem to be very, very abundant here, we're going to work with these. Okay, so the basics of the fortress are slowly coming together. I'm still unhappy about the fact that we don't have any stone blocks available, but one thing at a time. I don't want to overburden my fledgling industries here with stuff like block cutting, but actually we're going to start with that business now. So here we go. First part of this area like that. And let's see, food-wise, well, we are not at a spot where I want to be. So let's put down another stockpile for plants. So all the stuff that my plant dudes are carrying around is going to get stored there. Okay, we will ultimately get ourselves somewhere, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this will work out. The good news is your dwarves need way less food than they need drink, so the equation here is okay. We have way more drink than we got food. Your dwarves are technically alcoholics, so you really got to take care of their needs, otherwise they will go rampant. And not in a fun way. Okay, so I think it is about time to think about furniture here. So let's make rock blocks. It is quite a frustrating place. We have gabbro walls and andesite so far, so no exciting stone types. That means we're going to make ourselves some andesite blocks. I mean, it's the best thing that I can bring up right now. We don't seem to have too many other options right now, but we're gonna get there. So, some andesite blocks. One day I'm going to hit that magnifying glass too, promise. Okay, so we got that. Let's make sure that this area will be storing those blocks for us. And then we already got us some, some organization here going. So here's the home for all the rock blocks. And this place here gets wheelbarrows, wheelbarrows are awesome. Okay, so we're making pots. Here we are making metal stuffs. All right, so let's open up the next hole for the crafts dwarfs. So we have an area where we can put up finished goods. It's always very important as well. Okay, I think we are getting there. So next step, beds and doors, so we get the bedrooms going. Well, it's slowly going to be a thing. So we want 10 beds. That's okay. Well, could have done. So metal doors, one day probably. Up until then, let's make sure we're going to make andesite doors. Why not? Okay, so now we have racked up a lot of work for our fine dwarfs. We got lots of fine, juicy amethysts. Makes me happy. But it's now also a good moment to ponder about where we are going to set up ourselves mine-wise, We need to put up a mine next. So let's set up some cage traps, because I really don't want to get ambushed by anything carnivorous from out there. Wild boars, okay. If we catch any of these in the cage traps, they will make a fine food. That's fine. It's totally okay for me. So let's chop some more trees. And then, well, we have we already have unhappiness going on there. How so? Well, let's see. I just noticed that I wanted to set up a meeting area here. So there we go. Now my dwarves have a place to socialize at. It's very important for them. And next step, we are going to set up bedrooms. That alone should already make a lot of feel-good moments for them. And the... Oh, wait a sec. Uh-oh. Alright, it's just the dogs fighting with the boars. Okay, I just realized that I actually wanted to floor these places. We already got some andesite blocks to do so. Because, you know, beautying up your fortress afterwards is so much harder than getting the job done right from the get-go. I have learned this the hard way lately, so I'm going to make the beauty projects for the city right from the beginning, you know. So here we go. I want to set up some left and right wings. Let's make that here as well. And, well, let's see. Probably more apartments into that direction here. So, rips of 5. Making 10 apartments per block. So we have 4, that's number 5, and that's crossroads again. So this way we can really set up a huge city in a very, very fast pace. But I figured that since these guys are out of a war, you know, if you are going out with such plans, a way to build up your fortress fast is very desirable, at least in my understanding. So what we don't do as of yet is any form of agriculture. That's something we have to change ASAP as well. So let's do that right away. I want to set up some scrappy farms right away from the get-go. I was considering doing an irrigation, so we got some serious farming before we even start out with the scrappy farming, but I realized I don't want to. We have so much soil available, there's really no reason to make this any harder than necessary for us. And I mean, considering the area here, we are just going to dig out a new little zone there. And maybe one day we'll even connect it with a staircase with the rest of the fortress. That might be a thing, you know? We could just drill a staircase down there and connect it with the kitchen district. Would be no problem. We'll see about that. But up until then, I just have a way better feeling if there's some plump helmet growing somewhere and, you know, all those things that we need to live off. These farms, they are inefficient, they are not ideal, they produce way less food than the ones that we go for underground. But, you know, a low amount of food is still way more than no food at all. And, you know, considering how fast these fortresses tend to grow, I really want to be on the safe side here. So we are putting up like this and like that. So 5 different plots. Let's see. We don't want everybody to do this. Already noticed that something was off. Only the planter gets to do this job. It's the special honor of the planter. And we are going to set up an area here specifically for the seeds. So our planter has not that much of a long run. I mean, right now the seeds are just lying around here in bags, but you get the idea. Okay, meanwhile, let's get back and set some hotkeys. So I want to have this on hotkey 2. Oh, wait a sec. We also should bring up a trade depot before our dudes are arriving. It's autumn after all, so the hometown liaison is actually to be expected. Okay, beautiful. So let's see how the city core is doing, which is going to be hotkey number 3. Look at that. We can finally set up our beds underground properly. Perfect. So let's put up some more floors and make sure that everybody has a bed to sleep in tonight. Then we're going to, then we're going to make sure that these rooms get smoothened walls and doors, and everything will be fine. So for now, we got 11 people, so we need 11 rooms. These are 10 of these. Let's make a few more, just as many as we can afford and decide blockwise. Here we go. Personally, a big sucker for floored rooms, because I think it makes the room so much more lively if you have a proper flooring inside there. It just gives the whole fortress a different feel, even if it's just dreary gray walls, you know. It doesn't matter. If it's floored, it's already much finer looking. Okay, we only got 11 dwarves, so work is getting done rather slowly. So we got to respect that. In terms of respecting things, I also got an idea. It's time to set up some room for the people. So I've got a dining hall in mind, and there's the trade caravan. We already got the broker, so we've been expecting you. So the gem bin doesn't contain too many gems, but I'm pretty positive that these will get us somewhere. We don't have any cages loaded in the cage traps. Everything here is still very, very early, and yeah. But I'm very happy to see that we got all that fungus growing. That means a underground pasture will be no problem whatsoever. Good-o. So let's request a broker, and let's wait until the expedition leader has moved his sorry butt over there. And more migrants are arriving. That's good. That means brightness portals finally will see the workforce it requires. We are now at 18 dwarfs, so that means we will now require also more food and drink. Speaking about which, let's see, yeah, those farms, they didn't get constructed yet. So technically, this all could be done by just one planter, but practically, I'm going to grab myself a second one that we're going to train, because I do know already that in the long run, we will require more planters. So let's start training them right away. Okay, so they are asking us what we need. What is the most important thing early on? Well, it's hard to tell for me, but I dare say we are going to order some fuel, because I don't know how much coal and lignite I will find here. So we are going to search for stone as soon as I find it. Yeah. So looking for bituminous coal and lignite. So bituminous coal is somewhere up there, isn't it? Or isn't it? Here it is. Okay, I could swear the last time it was way higher up above there, but whatever. So we're not going to order anything else, because that's going to be costly enough. And the fun part about lignite and coal is it's relatively low weight ore. So you might be, ore is always a bit of a heavy thing, but you will get a lot of bang for your buck there. Okay, so let's see what these folks have in store for us. I am always very, very interested early on in any stockpiles of drink and food or materials to make stuff out of. So, well, weaponry is brutally overpriced. A fresh copper pick is really, really cool because this way we can get ourselves a new miner. Every pick a miner. So let's see. Sweet pot seeds. Don't know. I don't want to pick up anything here. So these boxes are overpriced as hell as well. Let's see. Meat. Well, I don't know if I really want to buy any meat. We're going to buy the plump helmets, the leaves and fruits. Both categories. And I'd say that's it. So let's give them gemstones until they're happy. Here we go, trading. And we're going to gift away. Ah, well, whatever. We're going to gift away the entirety there. Because this gives us bonus points for the home civilization, you know? They like us now because of the rich gifts we gave. And that means more migrants and some sort of goodwill, you know? That's always a good thing for us. Okay, 18 people working here hard. That means we are going to have much more stuff to work with. Yeah, the kitchen is going wild. I hope they're going to store the food now in time. But with 18 people, I am quite positive that stuff will just land in the stockpiles instead of rotting on the work spot. Okay, so the metal industry, well, it's going to be a question of what we find when we start mining. We won't find that much opportunity for mining today because, you know, we are already pretty much at the end of today's episode. But let's continue at least with the stuff we can do. So somebody asked in a different episode why I'm using the use closest material command not more often. The answer is a quite simple one. Whenever you have placed down the last of these, I'm going to illustrate that. So when you've used up the last one of them, the window here will disappear and will keep the use closest material setting. And well, if you've ever built a entire screen worth of floor with use closest material and you notice that you cannot cancel those building orders just like you want to, yeah, user interface is wonderful in this game. All right, so let's put up the bedrooms. Our folks now have a couple of them, and we're going to smooth out these walls. There we go. Which will lead to some increase of life, some increase in quality of life, you know? Oh, wait a sec, I don't want to smooth out tiles that don't need it. All right, so these bedrooms will make the dwarves here a lot happier. But, well, the happiness is on an all-time low. So let's get working on a couple of things. So at the Stoneworkers Workshop, we're going to make us tables and thrones, because we're going to set up a dining hall there. So we got still only andesite and gabbro. Good lord, this place is grey. This is the greyest fortress of them all so far. And we are going to make 10 of these. Thank you. And then we are going to be able to set up an eating hall over here at this spot, which will help the moral of the fortress hopefully a lot. Because right now, well, these guys, they are not necessarily really volatile or anything, but they aren't happy either. So let's change a couple of these things. I also want to set up a new temple. So let's see. The temples need a 5-on-5 dance hall. There we go. So let's build up a temple structure like that. And can we do that twice right next to each other? Yes, we can. Wonderful. Okay, some social areas for them to be happy with, and I really hope that with the apartments here, the unhappiness of the fortress will subside quite quickly. I mean, it's a little bit early for unhappiness. We should be okay. Okay, my dear friends, that's going to be the end of episode 2. I think we've come quite far. I mean, we got the basics of the industries running. We got the workshop complexes set up, and well, they are in an okay shape. Food production is okay. The only thing that I need to take care of now is the production of pigtails and the like. So we get these things going. Let's make sure we get some sweet pods, some cave wheat, and more plump helmets in the middle. And this will get us somewhere over the next couple of years, I think, while the population of brightness portals is still low. This will be okay. They will be able to work with that. No problems whatsoever. So yeah, that's been set up. I am quite happy for now. And well, there's one thing that I want to do before I forget it again, because I do forget that. At the clothier's workshop, we're going to set up a work order for bags, because I know how important bags are. They are always important. Okay, thanks for watching. That's all for today. I really love how this place is developing. It's a little bit gray, a little bit too gray for my taste, but we get into that, I guess. And yeah, feel free to leave me your comments down below. Consider a thumbs up on that video, because it really helps a lot, and a subscription would be deeply appreciated. So see you guys next time when we get a bit more done here, and let's see where this will all lead us to. Bye bye. See you next time.